How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Some people are dumping Bitcoin right now, and we just got some news that is really scaring a lot of people in the crypto market. I want to explain what's happening, why Bitcoin fell down to $60,000, and what we have to look forward to in the near future. Is now a good time to be buying? Is it a good time to be selling? Like, should we be freaking out? Should we be out of the market completely? Is this normal? If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one. Also, there are going to be some links underneath the video in case you want to trade cryptocurrency using margin. You can try out Margex underneath the video. There, they're giving deposit bonuses that can be used towards trading fees. Also, there's going to be a link to CoinW as well. They're giving 100 million jungle tokens away, and you can get a fraction of those. I think it's 2 million, which it's a small meme coin right now. Maybe it does really well and you make tens of thousands of dollars from it. And it's free. All you have to do is trade on the platform. So definitely check out both of those links underneath the video. And let's look at the market. As you can see, Bitcoin fell down. Let's actually move in a little bit here to the 1 minute. Bitcoin moved down, cascading down all the way to about 60,500. And you can see exactly what happened here. Okay, we're at 62.7, 62.8. We're starting to even move up. And then it rounded down. Now, what does this usually mean? Well, it usually means that there are a lot of cascading liquidations, that there are liquidations that caused it to go further and further down, more and more liquidations. And we did get about $300 million wrecked liquidations in the crypto market in the last 24 hours, most of which were longs, 275 million. We also got this big piece of news. Bankrupt Mt. Gox will begin $9 billion Bitcoin repayments in July. Okay, so most of us know what this means, but basically Mt. Gox was an exchange that went bankrupt about 10 years ago. And since then, they've been clawing back Bitcoin or finding out where the Bitcoin was. They've been trying to figure out everyone that had Bitcoin on the exchange that they owed money to. And they've always talked about how they're going to, send Bitcoin back. And now they're finally doing it, it looks like. Now, why is that so scary? Well, some of these people might sell Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin 10 years ago was at a much lower price. Let's call it $1,000, just coming up with a number off the top of my head. I don't know exactly if it was 1,000 or 2,000 or 500 at the time, but a lot of people are up 60x now. So some people might want to sell Bitcoin. Keep in mind, these are also people that were into Bitcoin early, and they're also people that realize that if they don't touch their Bitcoin, it goes up in value a lot. So I know that some of these people will not sell. They'll just put it on cold storage, so that way they actually have control over their own keys. But we also don't know how long this will take to repay, right? The repayments will be made beginning from July 2024. It does not say that all the payments are going to be made at one time. I mean, that could happen, I suppose, but they say they will begin in July 2024. So that might cause a bit of selling pressure. People are scared of selling pressure. People sell off when they think there's selling pressure, which causes more selling pressure. We also know they're not the only ones that are selling some Bitcoin right now. Last week, we heard that the German government appears to be selling Bitcoin. They sent 1,000 Bitcoin to exchanges. This is back from, I believe this was Thursday, but they actually sent a few thousand Bitcoin throughout last week. And they hold about 43,000 Bitcoin, somewhere around $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. So yeah, people are scared, right? Whenever there's a big entity that's selling, Germany also could just dump it like at one time. They didn't seem to minimize slippage. They just sold the Bitcoin and it just tanked the price of Bitcoin at the time, which is something that a lot of people think is a little bit, a little bit sketchy or just a little bit odd that they wouldn't try to sell small increments over a long period of time or go OTC or something like that. I'll be honest, I'm kind of excited that Mt. Gox is happening finally. It seems like a cloud that's been over our heads for a long time and the rain just didn't come from it. I'd rather just get it done and over with because this consistently is a source of fear in the market. When you consider how much Bitcoin they're giving back to, this is not equivalent to how much Bitcoin the ETFs are buying. The ETFs have swallowed up a lot more Bitcoin than this. If you look, what's $9 billion worth? About 15,000 Bitcoin? 15,000 times, let's call it 60,000, right? Okay, we're looking at 150,000 Bitcoin. So that is a significant amount. It is. But Fidelity and BlackRock have bought more than this amount of Bitcoin. And as I've said, I don't think they're going to dump all of it. I don't think the recipients are going to dump all of it. Maybe a quarter to a half are going to dump, in my opinion. So we're looking at a few $1 billion. Maybe that will cause the price to go further down. Maybe the fear of it is causing the price to go even further down. So it will be interesting to watch. But yeah, I am not super worried about this long term. I think this is just another bump on the road, and I'm glad to have it done with. But keep in mind, the last time Bitcoin RSI was at this level on the daily chart, the price was just 26,000. Okay, that's how far we've cooled off from the top. We're down 20%. We've been going sideways for 100 days. Just scroll out here. I believe it's 100 days. So we passed this level, 60,000. We passed that way back on February 28. Yeah, so we're looking at March, April, May, June. We're looking at 4 months. In just 4 days, we're going to be 4 months into this. So 120 days about we've been going sideways. And we're at a pretty key level of support, right? We've hit this level, what, 1, 2, we'll just call this 3. Went below it this time, 4, 5. Okay, so we have a lot of support in this region. Now, maybe we fall below this. Maybe we fall below 60. It's a pretty key psychological level. Next big level will be 56.5. Next big level after that, you got to look at 53 because that's where we saw some resistance before. Then probably 50 because we saw some support there and some resistance right around 49. So I'd be looking around that area. But overall, RSI has come down a lot. Every time Bitcoin RSI has hit these levels in the past 2 years, it bounced back strongly within days or weeks. Bitcoin Archive says buy the dip in bull markets. It's been a good way to go. I mean, if you bought any of these dips, you had an automatic 10, 20% return. Of course, we have come back down, but still, if you're a trader, these dips are usually pretty good. Like if you just open up a long and then put a stop loss right below the area of support, that typically does pretty well. But let's say you're not a swing trader. Let's say you're just someone buying Bitcoin, or you're just someone that owns some Bitcoin. Is now a time to be scared, right? I mean, we are, quote unquote, in a bull market. It's pretty divisive even to say that. Some people say, no, we haven't even started the bull market. Some people say the bull market's done. Some people say we're in the middle of a bull market. I think since we moved from 16,000 up to 60,000, and before we were at 70,000, I think we are, or 74,000, I think we are in a bull market. Now, in a bull market, there are times where you fall down or you go sideways. Just the case. So I think we're in a bull market. I think Bitcoin will still go up really significantly. I think a lot of it depends on macro, right? I mean, if someone comes and sells $9 billion worth of Bitcoin, let's say all of them sell at one time, we're going to fall down. We're going to fall down drastically. There's nothing you can really do about that, even if you're, quote unquote, in a bull market, right? If someone goes and sells a bunch of Bitcoin at one time and they don't care the price that they're selling at, we're going to fall down. Do I think that's likely? No. And I've said that before. I talked about why I didn't think it was likely that everyone would sell. But if that happens, there's not much you can do, okay? We're in a bull market. I think Bitcoin will do well. We're moving to elections where the president and the government just generally want us, they want the economy to do well. It seems like inflation's coming down nicely. The stock market's at all-time highs. If you look at the indices, a lot of stocks are doing quite well. We should be moving into a point of extra liquidity. We're increasing M2 money supply. We're going to lower rates, it seems like, at some point this year. So with all that in mind, and with the knowledge that Bitcoin usually does well around this time in the cycle, where it moves sideways after the halving for a few months, 3 to 6 months, and then starts to move up again. I think this is normal. I mean, we've already done better than we have in any other cycle. I think there are a lot of entities that are going to be buying Bitcoin, that are going to be buying significant amounts of Bitcoin, that have just kind of been a little bit quiet recently. We have been moving sideways, so there's not as much excitement with Bitcoin ETFs. A lot of retail traders aren't buying. A lot of compliance departments haven't quite approved the Bitcoin ETFs, even after 6 months, right? Even after 5 months. There are a lot of compliance departments that move slowly. So I do think that Bitcoin's going to go up, but of course, I'm never telling you to buy Bitcoin. You have to make your own decision, right? I've never told people to buy Bitcoin. I've even done videos where I talk about whether now is a good time to be buying Bitcoin. I say, this isn't financial advice. It depends on your risk level, but boom, I think it's a good time, or I don't think it's a good time. Of course, I was buying Bitcoin this entire time, and people thought that I was dumb. Some people thought I was dumb. Some people thought that Bitcoin was going to zero. People still say Bitcoin's going to zero if we go sideways, or if Bitcoin falls 20%. Right? We have to have a thicker skin than that. We have to be ready for dips. That is why I do think it's important to diversify, whether it's in stocks, real estate, but especially cash. Like if you are in the crypto market and you want to accumulate more crypto, you do need cash. You need cash, so you can't be greedy all the time. This is kind of interesting too. Like if you just look, boom, boom. I don't know. We'll see how this all plays out, but yeah, maybe we just continue this triangle. Let's see how far this goes until the fall. I don't know. If we just continued in this triangle until the fall, I think people would go insane from just being stuck between 60,000 and 70,000. But I could see it. The summer is usually boring. So we'll see. Let's see what's happening though with some altcoins. What are the opportunities right now? Well, Bitcoin's down 5% from the 24-hour, but from the all-time high, it's down about 17%. Ethereum's down 32. Still hasn't hit the all-time highs. It went up to 4,000 or maybe 4,100 recently, so down about 25% from there. BNB down 22% from where it was just recently because it hit an all-time high recently. Solana down 51% from all-time highs, down from even 220, 210 recently. XRP down just 2%. It's been pretty much a stable coin, down 88% from all-time highs. Toncoin just 11% off all-time highs, still up 18% in the last 30 days, or 15%, 18%. It goes back and forth, but 15 to 18% in the last 30 days. Dogecoin still down 84%. Cardano down 88%. I do think that there are going to be coins that pop up that do really well, right? There are always going to be coins like that because they get attention, liquidity comes in. I think the top 50 coins that have been around a while, I think it's going to be, I think fewer coins are going to do well, and the coins that do well are going to do really well. Like there's not going to be as much peppering money at crypto as there was in the past, where just everything goes up 5 to 10x from the prior cycle. I think people are going to be more cautious. I could always be wrong on that, but I think you do have to pick the winners this time. Unlike last cycle where almost everything did well, it just was a question of when. I think you're going to have to be more careful. My main bets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Nothing super exciting there. Of course, I do hold some other cryptos that are smaller that I'm betting on, but those are the 3 mega caps. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're buying down below in the comment section. By the way, if you are going to Bitcoin Nashville, which is just in about a month, there's a link underneath the video, or if you're not going, but you want to go, Nashville's pretty fun. There's a link underneath the video where you can get an extra 10% off. And if you pay with Bitcoin, you get 21% on top of that. So yeah, maybe you want to check that out. It is a good time. It's really fun to go to these conferences. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Again, if you want to trade cryptocurrency, there's a link to Margex and to CoinW. I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.